a little cool start to our Friday, but always we like to heat things up with, a little money talk. Specifically faith and finance, and our friend Drew Blazsik is in studio with us right now. And Drew, you're going to be talking about, I'm going to try to get this out, this Encyclical Quadragesimo, no, I got that wrong already, Quadragesimo Anno?
I think it's Quadragesimo Anno.
Ah, got it. Okay.
Yeah, some of them are pretty difficult.
I don't think I've read that one.
It's really long. So I was looking at it last night, see what I'm going to pull out. These quotes are amazing from this one. And Quadragesimo Anno commemorates the 40th anniversary of Leo XIII's Rerum Novarum that we talked about before. And it addresses the ongoing challenges in the social and economic order. So it was written in 1931. And you're coming out of that period of where you have socialism is kind of taken root in some areas. And then also the different forms of capitalism where the money kind of flows up just to a few that's causing the social order to change. So Pope Pius XI critiques both capitalism and socialism. So I'm going to make this point clear again that we talked about before, is that socialism is condemned in the Catholic Church. No one can define capitalism. So there's different forms that the popes talk about is an unhealthy capitalism, but there's a good free market. They're all for free markets, but there's some awesome quotes in here.
Well, I love the fact that they write about it, despite the fact that they're still, it's still evolving. This whole concept is kind of still evolving. Yet they don't wait for everything to be settled to, comment on it.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff. So I have the concentration of wealth and power. So this is a critique of unrestrained capitalism. So Pope Pius XI criticizes the immense concentration of wealth and economic power in the hands of a few, which leads to social inequality and exploitation. So we have to go back to what's Catholic economics. It's where the individual families are owning the means of production. So socialism's where no one owns it, the state does, but then I won't say equally, but what also is wrong is where the state passes laws that only a few own capital and become wealthy, and the rest of us don't have anything. So that's what he's speaking out against. So this is what he said, quote, "This dictatorship is being most forcibly exercised by those who, since they hold the money and completely control it, control credit, also the rule and lending of money. Hence, they regulate the flow, so to speak, of the lifeblood whereby the entire economic system lives, and have no firmly in their grasp the soul, as it were, of economic life that no one can breathe against their will." So this is like, when I read this, because I haven't read this before until last night, and when I read this is exactly what we talk about. Money is the blood of the system, or you say the oil of the engine, and he's saying that this is the Federal Reserve was created about 14 years before, longer than that, about 18 years before this was written. So he's saying that the ones who control credit is controlling it in a way where they are gaining a dictatorship of economic power and no one else has anything. So he's talking about that. Here's another quote. Yeah. This is a little longer here, but this is really good. And this is really good how he talks about the role of the state. The ultimate consequences of the individualist spirit in economic life are: free competition has destroyed itself. Economic dictatorship has supplanted the free market. Unbridled ambition for power has likewise succeeded greed for gain. All economic life has become tragically hard, inexorable, and cruel. To these are to be added to the grave evils that have resulted from an intermingling and shameful confusion of the functions and duties of public authority with those of economic sphere. And this is where it gets interesting. Such as one of the worst to the virtual degradation of the majesty of the state. So remember, the state should blindly and be an arbiter of justice, not giving favors to anybody, but true justice. So he goes on to say, which although it ought to sit on high like a queen and supreme arbitress, free from all partiality and intent upon one common good and justice, it has become a slave, surrendered and delivered to the passions agreed of men. So what is he talking about is that when Catholic societies, when we started to enter into the so-called capitalist era, the state and you would say the ones who own money would get together and pass laws to make it more difficult for people. For example, people were happy to live on sustenance where they could take care of their families, where they honored all the holy days of the Catholic Church. But then what happened was state passed laws where they, in certain areas in Europe, where you could not hunt. Therefore, they had to work in the factories. Oh. And also they passed laws where you had to pay taxes. The only way to raise money is to work for the factories. Mm-hmm. So when you have that happening, it took the man in the Industrial Revolution out of the home. Because before that, he was working with his son side by side. Mm-hmm. And before the woman was taken out of the home, the man was taken out of the home during this time period. And now the son and the man didn't have that relationship when they worked. Wow. So that's what he's addressing right here.
And what's the name of this encyclical again?
Quadragesimo Anno.
Okay, but
1931.
You can look that up and you can read that. Now we have another guest in studio. We call you Drew, but the other guest we have in studio calls you Daddy. Christian is in studio with us. Good morning, Christian.
Say hi.
Yes.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you could come in today with Daddy.
He was very excited to come see everyone here.
Now, does he get an allowance? Yeah, it's a discussion for another day.
We'll see.
Christian, thank you for coming today. I'm glad to see you. Say something funny.
Say thank you. All right.
Oh, great. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Christian. Morning offering. We'll be right back here on Annunciation Radio.